Welcome to the StockMeta.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMeta Brian Johnson, making professional trading simple. And flat day in the markets, exactly what we talked about yesterday. Not expecting any major moves over the next couple days. Today was end of month. I didn't expect to see any major drop anyway. Maybe a move up, but no major drops today. And tomorrow I expect more of the same. Might be a little bit of motion in the morning, and then you should start to see things really die off tomorrow afternoon as people leave for the 3-day weekend, and nobody's going to want to jump into any large positions. So I would say that if you don't have anything established by tomorrow morning, within about the first couple hours or so of trading, you probably won't get much more to look at the rest of the day. And you might want to just take the rest of the day off, go golfing if it's nice in your area, find something else to do. So looking at the charts today, you can see the Dow on a 60-minute. It's nothing broke here. I mean, we did have a move down, yes, 50 points down for the day. I think that's about where we closed to, if I take a quick look at it. Yeah, 50 points down for the day in the Dow, about 4 in the S&P, and the NASDAQ was down a good 12. Still nothing broken there, and I'm sure we'll see that when we get to the charts. But as you can see here on the Dow, just just nothing really to look at. Still waiting to break this lower support line here. I'm looking for breaks below 10,800 to get a little bit more bearish on the Dow. But you can see this area holding extremely well, and that is right around the 10,825 mark. Look at multiple touches here, here, once again over here, support. So lots of touches on it today, nothing broken. I do like the fact that this lower channel line is, for the most part, still holding. We broke it, came back up, retested it today. We're not able to get back above it and close above it, so there is still some hope here, but ultimately our bigger picture is this trading range here. 10,950 to 10,825, waiting for breaks below one of those 2 points to give us entries on the Dow. From a daily standpoint, you can see now the Dow clearly outside of this blue line. It is still moving in a sideways motion, as we saw on the 60-minute. 10,950 to 10,825 is my trading range there. But we are outside of this blue trend line. We did have more or less a retest of it, now a move back down. But once again, until we start breaking these more major levels, I'm really not all that one way or the other on the markets. So tomorrow, let's see if anything happens. I don't expect too much. Once again, a flat sideways, maybe a little bit up, maybe a little bit down day tomorrow. I wouldn't expect any major movement tomorrow because of the 3-day weekend. NDX on a 60-minute. Here we go, down 9.62 points, but sideways. They didn't break anything. So still nothing broken from the bull side. We're just moving sideways. This is all really just a high base. If you're looking at it, consolidation, however you want to look at it, it's still bullish. Waiting for breaks below here. Then maybe we've got some movement on our hands down to retest maybe this blue line or back down to this lower green line. Still a ways off yet in the NASDAQ. From a daily standpoint, showing us down 9.62 and nowhere from a daily standpoint. So sideways, all sideways action. Maybe this thing bases right into the blue line where it finds support and takes off again. So all indicators are now starting to move back down towards an oversold level, giving us the opportunity in the markets to see some more upside over the next few trading days. NDX on a weekly, holding very nicely to the area I talked about over the last few weeks. I've been talking about this 1960, 1970 area on the NDX. It's holding beautifully this week. Last week we did get a bust above it, but no close above it. This week we have been into it and above it, and no close so far. With 1 day left in the trading week, let's see where this thing eventually closes itself. Very tight range this week. Low of 1955, high of 1975. So 20 points, high to low, all week long, very stagnant in the NASDAQ compared to what we've seen over the past few weeks. Once again, starting to get a little bit exhausted up here towards the top, but this little doji may turn into a potential reversal doji. We won't know until next week when the bigger hitters come back and things start for the new month. SPX on a 60-minute, also moving sideways here as well. Still nothing to be overly bearish about. So we still got to watch and wait. 10 or 1175, looking at very nice overhead resistance, with 1165 as pretty staunch lower support. So ultimately, breaks below 1160 and 1155 are what I'm looking for down. And above 1175, I think takes us right back to the 1180, or maybe even above for a retest of this blue line on a break to the upside. Daily standpoint, still moving sideways. Look how now we have definitely broke the blue line, and we've come back up. I don't know, kind of retested it. But we're holding nicely to this previous blue line that goes all the way back to, I can take that, I should go back in time, but this blue line goes back months and months and months. And it worked really well here. Resistance, 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 break above, support, 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 break back down below, come back up, resistance, break above, hold as support, support, and support. So this blue line, very strong, very active right now. Gotta love technical analysis for this reason. At least gives you an idea of where to look to find your entries for the markets. Ultimately, I'm still below 1160, keeping in mind 1157 is now the 20-day moving average. It has moved up quite a bit. 1160 and ultimately 1155 back to 1150, so about every 5 points. From 1165 down, it's about every 5 points for potential support in the SPX. From a weekly standpoint, going nowhere, putting in that small little tiny candle that we're seeing on the other indices. One more day left, and we'll see where that ends up closing. VIX on a daily, up 2.86% today, so a little bit of movement out of something in the VIX itself, but really, ultimately, bigger picture, guys, back it up, take a look at it, nowhere. No fear left, or no fear coming into the markets. We're still staying very, very low down here. These levels are very low for the VIX, which could make for some very nice option purchasing opportunities in the very near future, coming into April. Apple on a 60-minute, we've seen a nice move up, gap up here, but not being able to hold. I mean, there's